Hey, what's going on YouTube? Chris back with another video. Today I have a slightly different product for you all. It is a tablet. That is the Lenovo Tab 3A Plus. I first want to give a huge shout out to GearBest who sent this to me. That way I can get that reviewed and unboxed for you all. But I also, of course, will still continue and give my honest feedback and opinion regarding this, whether you should be picking this up as a tablet device. So let's go ahead and get into this and let's take a look. So we got the box here. Gives you just a quick glimpse of the tablet itself, and then on the back gives you some of the specs. It got a full HD display, multi-user support since it is running Android. It is running a Qualcomm processor. This is the deep blue color, 3 gigs of RAM with 16 gigs of storage. It is running the 2 gigahertz processor clock speed. But let's go ahead and get into it now. Get into the unboxing real quick. And again, I'll leave the links down in the description where you can purchase and pick this up from GearBest. You got a Android user guide, and it is all in English, so that is actually great, even though this is made in China. And alright, a huge bunch of just mess just comes out. Alright, just another sticker, Tab A Plus. This is what's in Chinese. Here we are. So, yeah, this is what's in Chinese about what the product is. That kind of looks more normal at that point. More probably warranty guide, things like that. It looks like a micro USB cable and your charging brick. Let's go ahead and get that all to the side. And just in a plastic bag. GearBest had a flash sale on this product. Still do actually, for about $170, $180-ish. So right off the bat you have A3 Plus sticker on the top. Let's get that pulled off. And I accidentally turned on the power automatically right there. There's a dual speaker, powered platform, octa-core 2.4 gigahertz. Alright, so it's booted up, or it's booting up, we should say. Let's go ahead around. First and foremost, let's not worry about that too much right now. So on the back we have this rubbery, soft touch type material that it's made out of. It's not rough or anything like that. It is smooth, so fingerprints is not going to be a big deal. So that's kind of nice. And you have the one hand use right there, so you can hold it when reading anything. Up top we got a headphone jack. We have a mic. Looks like a speaker right here. Your micro USB charging port. You have your volume buttons and your power button. You got another speaker. There's your mic. And here on the side we have a Lenovo branded tab that you can open, which will house a micro SD card slot. It looks like, yep, there you go. So that's good, because this only does have 16 gigs of storage. You're going to definitely need some additional storage there. And then that just closes right back up. On the back we have a single LED flash and an 8 megapixel camera. I'm not going to be worried about the camera performance since this is a tablet. So up front we have a 8-inch 1200 by 1920 display. And then here we have a 5 megapixel front facing camera. All plastic build, nothing fancy. This is running a Snapdragon 625 processor. So that processor has actually been performing really great in other cell phones, things like that. So it's going to be great on battery life. Performance will also be decent. There is 3 gigs of RAM, like I mentioned, 16 gigs of storage. The battery size in this is 4,250 milliamp hours. So I was expecting maybe a little bit larger, considering my Mate 9, considering the Xiaomi Mi Mix. Both have batteries of 4,000 or greater, and this is a much larger device. But since it does have that dual speakers on the side, that kind of gives it a nice, good audio media experience. So let's go ahead and go through the setup here real quick. I'll be right back once I'm done with that. Alright guys, so I went through the setup finally of the tablet here. Upon doing the setup, I restored all of my apps from a previous device. I updated all the apps and also went ahead and there was about 3 OTA updates. So if we go down to About the Tablet, we can see that it is running Marshmallow 6.0.1, a somewhat recent security patch of March of 2017. Hopefully this gets Nougat. That's our hope. But let's go into some of the features. So this does support dual band Wi-Fi, so 2.4 and 5 gigahertz. There is this Ethernet configuration, so I'm not sure what that's going to be for. Maybe it could be for setting up an Ethernet adapter over micro USB. We're not sure. There's no NFC on this. And in here we have the ability to change your battery percentage, turning that on and off there in the status bar, which is a nice little touch. Display, you have adaptive brightness, your sleep settings, power button to open camera twice, so pretty much very stock Android-like settings, ambient display. Not too much as far as settings go. You do have the ability for a notification light that gets turned on up there. As far as batteries go, and then you do have here the settings for memory. It does have 3 gigs of RAM, I've already mentioned. A kids mode, which you can add a user, and that you can pretty much restrict apps and things like that for your child. Touch panel, just a glove mode, you can turn on or off. Security settings, there's no fingerprint scanner on this, so you're not going to find anything of the like here on the tablet there. So if we look down here at the navigation bar, there's this extra little toggle down here. When you do that, this lets you actually change the, I guess, the color temperature of the screen. So now you can see this kind of like a more of like a night reading type mode, so less eye strain. For media, it may make the colors more vivid, things like that, but maybe not as accurate, and then you just have a standard color temperature there. And a custom, not sure what that would be actually about. And you can turn that on and off in the quick toggles, but yet there's no additional like setting as far as like settings go for it, so I'm not sure exactly what that is for, since we already looked into the display. Now if we go into sound here, there is Dolby Atmos capability already installed, so we can launch that. You can customize your audio profiling and EQ, things like that, to your liking, so that's pretty cool. As far as what's installed, that comes pre-installed, McAfee is on here, a ShareIt app, which we'll go in and take a look, see what that's for. So basically you can share files between devices or computers, things like that. Won't need to use that. That's what Google Drive is for. And then McAfee, you can uninstall that. Let's see in some of the app lists here. So there's a Lenovo Tab 8 Plus, which kind of basically just goes over the specs. We can see here 8-inch screen, 625 processor, Bluetooth 4.0, 4,250 milliamp hour battery. So this literally just gives you the specs. That does us no good. We have a parental controls. So you add a user, brings us back to child mode. So that way, that's a nice capability. Since this is a budget tablet, you may want to just give this to the kids to play around with, things like that. there is a sound recorder on here that comes pre-installed. So let's go ahead and check out the sound quality on the Lenovo tablet here. Since it does have dual speakers on this side and this, which is kind of unfortunate since if you're holding the device like this, you're covering the speakers. Let's go ahead and get this turned up. Let's try another song, see if we can get a different variation. So down here, automatically switch the profile to media when we open YouTube. And here's just a sample from the Dolby Atmos. It sounds okay. I mean, definitely not the best in my opinion. Very like high, a lot of highs. Not too much in the low end or anything like that. So it's not going to blow you away in regards to bass or anything like that. So let's go ahead and check some games out. We're going to check out the Luminous City. I can already tell by just when I'm holding the tablet, my fingers are covering these speakers very frequently. So it kind of is a pain in order to have to hold it and always be like, or it's going to be very muffled at that point. Alright, so we got Gear Club Racing here, and we'll see how this works. Might have just froze. So there's that notification light that I mentioned earlier. With the 625 processor, it's going to take a bit longer to load games compared to other chips, compared to like an NVIDIA tablet or a Snapdragon like 810, 835, that sort of thing that you find on phones. Alright, let's give this a try here. Alright, so we're into our first race, or third race technically. So far it's not doing too bad. It's definitely very playable. It's actually quite smooth. Again, me just covering up the speakers are kind of taking away from the experience, kind of throws you off a little bit. But this is definitely playable. The graphics are really good. That 625 chip is quite the performer. So if we switch between games like I tried to do with Luminous City and the Gear Club, tablet is not liking that. It has pretty much locked up, running really slow. That's because of the 625 processor and also that 3 gigs of RAM. So you're not going to be doing tons of gaming as far as multitasking, things like that. You're going to pretty much doing one game at a time sort of thing. But this is going to be really good for kids. It's inexpensive. Don't have to worry about spending a lot of money to get an Android tablet. It does have all the Google Play services, even though this is technically from China. I was able to take 3 OTAs like I mentioned already, and those installed just fine. So let's just real quick take a look at the camera here real quick. So we can see kind of just a very basic Snapdragon type camera. Everything is very washed out in the photo, in the frame there. So definitely not going to be taking pictures with this. Anyways, this is the first look at the Lenovo Tab 3 8 Plus. I'll leave links down again where you can purchase this from GearBest. Again, thank you to them for sending this to me. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this, and if you want to pick this up for your kids, definitely do it. I would say it'd be worth it considering that 625 chip is really good. Large battery, you're going to get several days of use out of this. Anyways, thanks for watching. Hit that like and subscribe button, and I will see you all in the next one.